divine healing. We ask, Lord, that you open our hearts and our minds. Help us to attune our consciousness to your vibration of love and perfect healing. As we seek the truth, and as we seek to grow in greater understanding and wisdom, help elevate our minds, Lord. Help us to seek the light and the truth of the way of the Spirit. Please surround us, Lord, with the very highest of those angelic ones, those guides and those teachers from Spirit, to be with us, to work through us, to help us in our quest for greater understanding and truth. And we thank you, Lord, for your love and healing. This is our prayer, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so I just want to, I'm very happy to see so many people because the vibrations of everyone here are very nice, and you never know, with any type of workshop or seminar, you never know how many people are going to be there, and you never know what types of people are going to show up. But I feel the vibration here, everyone here is very spiritual, and just the fact that this workshop is on spiritual healing, it's very much going to attract people who are healers, people who are interested in that phase of mediumship and that particular gift of the Spirit. And what I want to do before we get into everything is go around introducing ourselves. And this helps all of us understand who we are, who everyone else is. And because this is something which, healing is something which is very personal and something which is very loving. And so it helps to know where we all are and who we all are. But it also helps me too to understand how I want what type of focus or the direction that I want to, depending upon where people are at within the class as well. And what I'm going to do is I'll start out with myself. And my name is Reverend Steve Herman, and I'm a medium, I'm a teacher, and I'm a healer with the National Association of Spiritualist Churches, and which this church is a member of. I'm also a certified and registered clinical hypnotherapist. I work with hypnotherapy and hypnosis. I'm also a massage therapist, and I'm an active member of the American Massage Therapy Association. And I work a lot with mediumship. I lecture and I teach classes and travel around the country and other places, lecturing and teaching about spiritualism. And for me, spiritual healing is what spiritualism and all religion is really about, because you have so many different phases of mediumship, but the whole purpose of mediumship should be to help us to connect with that part of us which is divine within ourselves, help connect us with God, and help us to grow, and ultimately to help us realize our true nature and to be healed of whatever the conditions that might be holding us back from the past. Because a real good message from Spirit should not only be evidential or inspirational, it should also be something which is very healing, something which makes us feel better, something which helps us to attune to the divine and attune to Spirit and raise our consciousness beyond whatever the pain or whatever the difficulties that we might have experienced in the past. And the laying on of hands and absent healing, which this course, this workshop is going to focus on unfolding and working with the laying on of hands and contact healing. And I'm very happy, I'm just very glad to see people here. It's very nice. And I guess if we can all just go around, just spend, a minute or two if you want to introduce yourself. And I'm going to probably end up forgetting all the names anyway, because it's real difficult to remember names. But we'll start over here.
My name's Russell Joyce.
Yeah, just send me if you have any background in healing or what you'd like to learn.
I don't have any background in it, but I'm interested in it. I like it. It's a way of helping other people. It's a way of giving. It's a way of sharing.
My name is Norma Farber from Cherryville, and I have a little bit of background. I'm Jim Charlesworth, and I'm middle 50.
I'm Cass Wadsworth. I've been a healer for about 60 years, and I'm a medium. I'm from Belmont. Happy to be here.
I'm Harriet Reimers. I'm a person.
Good.
You know what it's like to learn how to heal and what it's like, where it comes from, how to get it, where I have it.
My name is Jules Title. I've received healing many times, and I'd like to be able to give it as well, which I hope I'll develop here.
My name's Evelyn Richardson, and I've taken Reiki and Marielle, but I haven't used it. So I would like to get started with it later on.
I'm Ralph Alexander, and I've been doing healing, although not really certified healing, but I've been doing it for about the past 6 years. And I'd just like to be able to do a little bit better job of it. That's one of the reasons I'm here.
I'm Lorraine Doyle. I'm new. I don't really know. I just want to learn. Okay. I'm Nick Kelly. I'm a chiropractor, massage therapist, and I've taken Marielle and therapeutic touch, and I took lessons from a psychic surgeon. The reason I'm here is because I know to be better at healing, you have to cleanse yourself, and being something that clears you so much.
My name is Janet Dean. I do some improvement classes. I'm a facilitator for A Course in Miracles. I've done absentee healing and hands-on healing, both, and I'm always interested in learning new things and new ways of looking at things. I believe that the best way to heal is to be healed yourself first, and then you can give more healing energies because you can see the person heal. And I do that with the object is to see the person heal at all times.
My name is Louise Valley, and I received healing. I still have practice of healing myself, so I like that.
I'm Elaine Joyce, and I've been aware of the healing energy very young in childhood. I did not know what it was, I just knew that it was. I do not believe that you need to be certified or papered to be able to utilize the healing energy because it is a natural faculty, the natural facility within us. If we can set the conscious self aside enough to connect with the healing energy. I've had many experiences in my own life, very profound experiences, and I find that working with the healing energy in the capacity of helping others is one of the highest forms of leadership that we can develop. And we all have it, we just have to learn how to channel that energy in the right direction. And I am the pastor of this church.
All right, well, what I wanted to say as we're going to begin, we're starting a little bit late, so we can always do, depending upon how things go, we can always go a little bit later after 3. We end up having more time. That's okay with me. But I just want to say a little bit about how the outline of this workshop and what I want to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about healing. I want to have a guided journey meditation. And then I want to have, we're going to do some exercises and some other things. And then we can break for lunch as well. And it's already been close to lunch as it is. But, and then in the afternoon, we'll discuss some other applications of healing and theories of healing. And then we'll also do some more exercises as well. And as well as I'm going to have another meditation too, hopefully. A lot of times when I do this workshop, I have it for like 6 hours, so I have a lot of material which I'm going to condense. So I'm going to emphasize the real crucial, the real important aspects of healing. But what I want to talk about first part is spiritual healing, what it is, why it is, but also who it is as well. And when we talk about spiritual healing, what is spiritual healing? And in a real simple way of defining spiritual healing, we could say that spiritual healing is God's unconditional love, divine love in action. Spiritual healing is God's love, and that love is unlimited. That love is unconditional. And that love is something that's within each and every one of us. The most important ingredient for any type of healing is love. And that spirituality is the real essence of our being. It's the real essence of our nature. And an individual who is a spiritual healer is an individual who is able to work as a channel, or is able to work as an instrument for that force, divine love. Spiritual healing is the simple act of prayer and allowing yourself to be an instrument for that divine force of love to flow through and to work through. And as I said before, I feel spiritual healing is the most important gift of the Spirit. It's the most beautiful gift of the Spirit as well. Because when we have that desire to reach out and to help other people, that's such a real high level of consciousness, and it should be the motivating factor behind all phases of mediumship. We talked about spiritual healing. We have the laying on of hands. We also have prayer. We have absent healing as well for others who are distant. But I want to say also one of the most important factors I want to say about why be a spiritual healer or why work as a spiritual healer. And the motivations are real important. And I have a list of them. I'm going to read this because some of these are nice, but it's like, why be a healer? And so people talk about how wonderful you are because there's one particular person you want to heal. To pick up a little extra money. To prove how great your church is. To prove to people how great your religion is. And the last one is to perform miracle healings to save lives. So these are all different motivations that some people might have for wanting to heal. But the thing is all of these motivations, these might be nice on some level, but the most important motivation for wanting to work and serve as a healer is that desire to want to reach out and to help your fellow brothers and sisters on this earth plane, to reach out with that love, to reach out to bring that comfort and that peacefulness and that nurturing from spirit, to bring joy where there might be pain, where there might be discord. That's the real purpose of healing. It has nothing to do with elevating our egos or making money. Healing is something that comes from, all healing comes from God. It comes from spirit. It isn't something which can be bought. It isn't something which, it's something that we all have. And in one sense, no one can really teach spiritual healing because it's already there within us. Even self-healing, it's something which is within us. And all we have to do is have the sincerity and have the desire. And we're able to put that force, and we're able to put that spiritual power in motion and make it work within us for self-healing, but also work for healing and reaching out to others as well. And healing is something that's just very simple. I want to talk a little bit also about the history of healing, spiritual healing. And we find spiritual healing being universal in application. It has many different names, many different forms. So many different cultures all over the world. You find when you have traditional medicine, it doesn't just work on the body. It doesn't just work with the mind, but it also works with the spiritual aspects. And in the old days, in many cultures, it was very much mixed with religion. They would have priests who were involved in spiritual healing. They'd have special temples in Egypt and other places. It would be very much associated with the spiritual healing. You have Native Americans here on this continent, they would work with healing. In Africa, people would work with healing. It was something which was very accepted to use the hands to direct that life force and to bring that love to other people. You know, who is a healer? Everyone is a healer. And when we talk about healing, all healing comes from God, but it comes in so many different ways. We have chiropractors, massage therapists, hypnotherapists, we have physicians, surgeons, we have so many people. Everyone's mother is a healer. When you're very small, maybe you were hurt, or maybe you were in pain, you were crying, and you would run to your mother, and you would receive that hug, you would receive that love. And this is something it's within each one of us, that potential and that ability. It's not something which is just restricted to a special few. And what I really want to emphasize as we're working in this workshop and unfolding is that we all are special, that we're all gifted, and that we're all children of God, and that we're all very special and divine, and we all have that ability. And most importantly, we can all use that ability. And I hope that at the completion of this workshop, that everyone will be able to, with what we cover in this workshop, be able to take it home with them, be able to apply it in their lives, either for themselves and hopefully for other people as well. And what I want to do now is I'd like to have a journey meditation. It's like a guided meditation. And what we can do is sit in a meditative, a very comfortable position. And I'm going to play this tape. And what we want to do, we want to close our eyes. We might want to also sit with our hands, palms facing up. The whole purpose of this meditation is to attune us to spirit, and to attune our minds and bodies to the higher level of consciousness. So as you sit, just concentrate on breathing in the God power, breathing in the love, breathing in the goodness. Breathe out all negativity. Breathe out all worry, all anxiety. And let go. Let God. And in your mind's eye, beautiful healing vibration. And you can feel this vibration of healing at the very tips of your toes, moving up your body. As it moves up from the toes, this warm, soothing sensation moves up through the feet. As it moves up through your body, feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into this peaceful, calm and relaxed state of mind. It's a warm, soothing, healing sensation. Feel it move up through the ankles, inch by inch, as it moves up through the legs and into the knees. And we let the legs feel calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. Feel that energy as it moves through the thighs and into the hips. Feel that peacefulness deeper and deeper. loose and limp all over. As that beautiful healing vibration moves up the spine. And let the lower back relax. The middle back and the upper back, calm and relaxed. As this beautiful soothing sensation moves up into the shoulders. We let all of the tension, out of the shoulders. As this beautiful healing vibration flows down our arms, and we let the elbows be limp and loose. We let our hands, let the fingers relax, calm and relax, as we attune this higher level. We feel that soothing sensation move through our neck and into the scalp. And we let our jaw feel limp and loose. Our entire bodies are calm and relaxed. We feel that connection to the God force. And as we breathe in the breath of life, we attune to the energies within us. We attune to the energies that flow around and about us. And within each one of us is an etheric body, is a spirit body, a body of energy, of light. And in your mind's eye, visualize yourself moving up in your body of light, moving up out of your physical body. Visualize yourself floating up out of your body, and you can look down as you move up, and you can see the circle. Visualize this taking place as you fly upwards and move out through the ceiling, moving higher and higher in your body of light, moving higher and higher, up through the church, through the roof. See yourself flying in the night sky, flying higher and higher in the sky. And you can look down and you can see the church. And you can look down and you can see all of the buildings and all of the streets. And you can see the city. And you can see the horizon. But still you fly higher and higher, faster and faster, accelerating, leaving the world of matter far behind, leaving this physical plane far behind. As you move upwards to the world of spirit, the world of light, moving higher and higher. See yourself move in to this dimension of light, this dimension of spirit. And in the surroundings around and about you, you can feel the love, and you can For the colors in this plane of existence are ones that you've never experienced before on this earth plane. And you can see ahead in the distance that there is a temple, a great temple of spiritual understanding and spiritual wisdom. And you walk forward as you approach this temple. Within this temple, there's much knowledge, much truth. You walk forward. You walk up the steps and you move inside. You can feel the spiritual presence. Feel the spiritual vibration. This temple is a healing temple. There are many souls who are taken here, who are in need of healing when they reach the world of spirit. They are taken to this special temple to receive the balance, receive the vitality and the harmony within themselves. As you walk through the world of spirit in this temple, you can see there is a special pool of healing water. And this water is special, for it is golden light. And there is a guide that stands before you. There is a guide to take you by the hand, to take you forward, and to take you to move ahead. You enter in this pool, this golden Christ light, this golden healing water, and you enter in. And as you sit in these waters, you are healed, you are healed, you are healed, you are cleansed and purified of all disharmonies, of all negativities. And this healing brings spiritual illumination. It brings spiritual wisdom. You feel the love. You feel the connection. For each one of us is special. Each one of us is gifted. Each one of us is a perfect child of the divine. physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You can move now out of the water, move back through the temple, moving back out of the temple, through the world of spirit. We're leaving the world of spirit now, and you are flying back. You're moving back down to the earth plane, down to the physical realm, leaving the world of spirit far behind. But you are taking that healing power. You are taking that healing power with you to share with others. You are taking the wisdom and the guidance from spirit with you. Moving back down into the material, and you can see the city, you can see the streets. Move back down through the ceiling of the church, down into this room, through the roof, down into this room, back down into the circle, and descending down into your physical body, feeling yourself back in your physical body. Very slowly move your toes, your fingers. Very slowly bring yourself back to physical consciousness. When you're ready, very slowly open your eyes, keeping that connection, that attunement to spirit. Is everyone back? Were you all able to follow?
Yep.
I like to do that too. It's nice in the beginning to get people tuned to spirit. Help us attune to the healing energies as well. And what I wanted to talk a little bit now was a few different things. I want to talk about the power of vibration, what vibration is, as well as the etheric body, the subtle body, as well as the relationship with that, with the different energy centers and the aura. I also want to talk about mental healing and how we use thought and our thought patterns in healing as well. Also, I want to talk about magnetic healing, which is a type of healing, as well as affirmations and prayer, as well as absent healing. So there's a number of different things I want to direct here. And I want to talk about, when we talk about healing, everything in this universe is on the physical level as well as the spiritual level. We're dealing with motion, we're dealing with vibration. So in the world of spirit, the vibrations are much faster. In the physical world, vibrations are much slower. And when we work with healing, we're working with energy. All healing is a thought process. All spiritual healing has purpose, it has motivation, and it has direction. It's a planned act, all acts of healing. There's some type of intelligence, there's some type of guiding force, guiding wisdom behind all acts of healing. And all healing is a thought process. And it's just like I said before about the mother hugging the child. We all have that healing ability. We talk about magnetic healing. We all have that life force. We all have that energy that's within us. Now there are some people who are very positive. They're just filled, their particular etheric chemistry, they're just filled with that vitality. And they're able to walk into a room. Many people, and maybe there's so many people who are down, people who are depressed, that they don't even have to say anything. But you can pick up their good vibrations. They just spread that love and that positive energy around. And a lot of times it's just their own vibration and their own nature. It's not something that consciously they deliberately do or even think about. It's something that's unconscious. It's just part of their nature. because they have that joy, and they're able to open people up. And this is something on a psychic level here, because when we talk about thoughts are things. Thoughts are on a subtle level, in a subtle dimension, are just as solid as this chair or the clothes that we're wearing. They're very solid. So if we think positive thoughts, we can all read each other's thoughts. If someone you're very close with on an emotional level, you might be thinking the same words at the same time. You might pick up different things. You know, when someone calls you on the phone, you're very aware of who that is before you answer the phone. And so in that sense, we're all psychic, but we also have, and someone who's a medium is able to receive those impressions from spirit because they communicate through people on this earth plane through thought, through feeling, through words, and through symbols, and through visual images. This is the way mental mediumship works. But it's also very much, when we're talking about healing, we're working with transmitting that life force. And someone with magnetic healing is able to very much just be close to someone and very much radiate that force. Now there's also the opposite. You have some people who just totally suck in other people's energy. They're almost like psychic vampires. And those people you can find in your life, they, a lot of times emotionally, aren't very, there's a lot of weakness there, there's a lot of dysfunction and a lot of imbalance. And a lot of times they just drain other people. They draw, they suck the life force out of people. And people who are very depressed, people who are very, have a lot of problems, a lot of times their auras, they're very weak. They don't have clear boundaries. So these types of people, a lot of times, they need a lot of help, and sometimes they can very much drain other people's life force. And that's one thing when we talk about healing. I'm going to talk about this more later on, but about the need for that type of balance and that real strength on all levels of body, mind, and spirit, because it's real important as a healing channel to be very healthy on all different levels and to have that balance in your life. Because if there's an imbalance in one area of your life, you're not going to be as an effective instrument for spirit. And we want to be the best that we can be. I want to say too about spiritual healing is there's different levels that it affects. Most people, when they think of healing, they think of purely physical healing, some type of physical disease, some type of physical imbalance or problem with the physical body. But we also know, and there are so many articles, there was something I think as Bill Moyers just had on television about the mind and people. And we also know that there's so many psychological, emotional, and mental problems that very much influence the physical health. And spiritual healing is able to remove these obstructions from the mind and replace negative types of programming of the mind, conditions, people's attitudes, and replace it with spiritual ones, positive ones. Just the same way that spiritual healing is able to remove physical difficulties and to help create harmony on a physical level. But most importantly, the real purpose of healing is on the spiritual level. And spiritual disease would be defined very much as people very much identifying the physical body as being the self, identifying very much with the material and not having any understanding of their own divinity, their own eternal spiritual nature, because we're all spirit, we're not our bodies. And the real purpose, the highest purpose of spiritual healing is to stimulate man's latent divinity, to help people realize that there's more than just this material world, than just this physical realm, and realize that they're eternal. And when people understand that, they make the effort to become self-realized and to grow spiritually, to understand their relationship with God. And this is the highest purpose of spiritual healing, not just to take away the pain, but to help people understand their spirituality. And we talk about the etheric body because we all have the physical body, but we also have a subtle body which is within us as well, because these are all coverings for the soul. The soul is eternal, it's full of knowledge, it's full of bliss, it's full of this infinite wisdom, and it's very much connected to God. It's of the same substance as God, the same quality as God. It's only the quantity which is different. But the subtle body very much is related to the mind and the intelligence and our false identification with being the physical body. And when there's imbalance within the subtle body, you find imbalance within the physical body, because this mind, body, and spirit is all very much related. Now you have in traditional Oriental medicine in China, they work with the meridians, the life force. And we talk about the anatomy of the spirit body. It's very much composed of energy. There's over 360 different major acupuncture points. We also have what they call in Sanskrit the word is chakra, which means wheel, but the different energy centers of the body too. Most people they seem like a common 7 types of energy centers. And these energy centers, on a psychic level, they correspond very much with the physical, different glands, different physical functions as well. So there can be disharmony within these different chakras as well. We also have the aura, which is part of the subtle body, but it can extend. In general, it's about 3 feet. It moves up with the physical body, and that aura has different layers as well. It has layers on more corresponding to the physical level, but it also has the mental level, but it also very much reflects the spiritual nature of the person as well. And it's always changing. There's many colors. Energy travels in spirals, not so much a straight line. It's just like if we look at our fingertips, there's all the little circles with the fingerprints. And this is because the energy is traveling outwards that way. Universal energy very much travels in spirals, that life force. Now there's also a current of energy. It runs down the chakras and then up the spine. And they have different yogic systems which work in both Chinese as well as Taoist yoga, but also the Kundalini yoga that work with this type of energy. It runs up the spine. It's like a circle. There's different meditations that individuals are able to cultivate to circulate this energy and to work with these different energy centers for self-healing, but also developing different types of mystical powers. All of these gifts of the spirit, they're mystical potencies, they're mystical powers, and they can be developed through the practice of these, within these systems of yoga. They have different exercises to develop these types of abilities, these different types of powers. The aura, when we talk about the relationship with the aura is like a shadow. It's a reflection of our true inner nature on all these different levels. And when we work with healing, the healing doesn't take place so much on the aura. It takes place within. But the healing, you can't heal a shadow anywhere, and you can heal a physical body. But the thing is when you work with the healing, it's going to be the healing. What has taken place is very much going to be reflected within the aura. And when we talk about healing, it's very much, I said before, a thought process. And in this church, and many more mainstream churches as well, they practice absent healing. They practice prayer. And absent healing has been described as the most effective. When I was in India for several months, and I spent some time with this very famous spiritual healer who's a spiritualist, he's a physician who works in Bombay Hospital. But he was telling me that he's worked with literally hundreds of thousands of people with spiritual healing in the last 20 years or so. But he was telling me that he feels that he's had the most success with working with absent healing. Even more so with the direct laying on of hands. He feels that that's the most effective. And when we talk about absent healing, it's something that everyone can practice. Everyone can practice absent healing. And what is absent healing? It's that sending of energy to someone else who's in need. In order to do this, for those of you who might not know, what you want to do is you want to find a comfortable space where there's quiet and where there's peacefulness, where you're not going to be distracted, and put yourself in a meditative state of mind and body. And what you can do is you want to pray to be surrounded by God, by the very highest and the very best. Because whenever we work with healing, we want to pray to God to work with us, because God's the source of all the healing. And absent healing is a thought process, and when working with it, we send out the thought. We can visualize the person. We can name them aloud. There's a lot of different approaches to this that you can work with. And we can send out that healing and think of the person. Now there's another approach too to absent healing, which some people, they will actually mention to spirit the particular disease, the particular concern that's needed for healing. They will mention that to spirit. Because when we talk about absent healing, all healing, there has to be some type of intelligence behind it. Someone might have some type of physical imbalance, but in order to correct that imbalance, there has to be some type of intelligence, some type of higher intelligence that's directing that healing energy. And that intelligence is in the world of spirit. Now, when we talk about, I want to talk about a little bit more about affirmations and prayer. Absent healing is something I also want to say is something that every one of us can do. We can do it once or twice a week. We can do it every day. And you don't need to be, you can be with a group, you can be by yourself. But it's something that when you work on this, it can lead to further spiritual development and further mediumistic development as well. Because it's very much, healing is very much a stepping stone to the development of other spiritual gifts. But affirmations and prayer are very nice because I said before, so many diseases we know are rooted in the subconscious and in conditions of the mind. It's just like someone might smoke cigarettes, someone might be very addicted to cigarettes, and this is all very much on a subconscious level. And I work with hypnosis, but you can work to reprogram the mind, give positive suggestions to that person. The mind can be programmed to think in loving ways, constructive ways, in kind ways. And when we pray, and when we put out that power of thought, we manifest that reality. We manifest the disease, we manifest the happiness, we manifest the conditions around and about us. And there's many different books that one can buy, which have many affirmations. Louise Hay books are real nice. They're real nice for self-healing. And there's so many different affirmations. There's even there's so many religions too that kind of are offshoots of spiritualism in the 19th century, but unity or science of mind, Church of Religious Science, Church of Divine Sense. There's a number of these different, they're called New Thought movement. But they don't work so much with mediumship, but they work with self-healing, and they also do a lot of absent healing as well, and visualizing and manifesting things. And does anyone have any comments or any questions or anything?
Right on.
Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to do some, before we break for lunch, I wanted to do some exercises here. Some of these are real basic types of exercises, but these are because before we work with the laying on of hands, and actually, I feel before we work with the spirit, we have to understand, just on a psychic level, vibration and how to perceive vibration. Because when we talk about the aura or energy can be felt, it can be touched, we can smell it, we can hear it, we can perceive it with all of the different physical, because all of the physical sense organs are also on an astral level or on a spiritual level. On a subtle level, they exist as well. Because the mind, we can think of the mind as being the sixth sense. So the subtle body also has sense perceptions as well. And I want to do some exercises for sensing energy and for sensing vibration. And as we open up that way, we will also be able to later on work with the healing. And the first exercise I want to, and some of this might also be stuff that some of you have already experienced or gone through. But the first thing is we just have our hands, and we want to rub our hands together, And this creates heat, but it also creates energy because there's energy centers, there's chakras, they call them chakras, that are in the palms of the hands. And we can just pull them apart. And as we do that, we can feel the energy. Now, in the East, there's many different systems of yoga. There's many different systems of working with the life force. There's many different systems of martial arts, both external and both internal. In the martial arts, they very much work with this chakra, this energy center. This is the center of gravity. It's the center of all power in the body. It's about 2 inches below the navel. And there's many, like we know Tai Chi, this is a type of martial art, but there's also many internal breathing exercises, but you get a real sense of the flow of the energy and being able to direct that energy and utilize it for your own healing and for self-healing as well. And so the more sensitive that we are, and you can just, one exercise, you can just make a ball of this energy, visualize a ball of energy. And you can hold your hands like this, keeping your arms completely relaxed. But you can feel the flow. Eventually, you'll feel the flow of heat. You'll feel that heat sensation of energy between the hands. You can actually, on a subtle level, there'll be a ball there. You'll be able to feel it, and you'll be able to play with it. You'll be able to move it. And there's many different types of these types of exercises. They combine movement. They combine working with the breath, because we breathe in the life force with each breath. And there are whole systems that you can spend decades mastering these types of systems. But it brings that harmony and brings that health. Now, as we feel the energy here, what I also want to do is we can each get a partner, and we can face each other, or we can even stand if we want. And what I want to do is just face with your palms, facing each other, and just moving the energy. Make sure everyone has a partner. And just feel the energy. And you can experiment too. You can even go around the person, because the energy spirals up fingertips too. And you can feel, even around the person's arms, you can feel the aura, and you can feel the energy.
You feeling?
I'll play with them in the middle. Go up above my hand.
Oh, big ball. Feel like heat. I think
So do you. Yeah, where you went beach. Oh, okay. You feel it? No, I can feel it. We don't. But people who don't have it, or who don't work it off, just don't show up at these things. Really? Yeah.
Gee, the heat comes from your hand.
You know, I can play this all the time.
Really?
Yes.
Can everyone feel the energy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it in the heat.
I feel heat, but is that energy?
Yeah, that's a sensation.
What was that?
Yes, it was.
Electric shock there.
Yes.